Hello and welcome back to Networking for Introverts. I'm Sabrina Schottenhamel, and today is February 19th, 2025. I'm excited to be here, and I've been really excited leading up to this event because we have a guest speaker with us today, and I am just excited to learn from her and to share her wealth of knowledge with all of you here because we're all in different areas. And I just think that Dori is amazing because she's so talented with her drums and connecting it with business and networking and helping people to reduce their stress. So I will let her do her thing so that we can de-stress and energize ourselves and be the best that we can be through her gifts and talents. So take it away, Dori.
Great. Thanks so much, and welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us today. I really appreciate you being here. What I do is completely different than anything that's out there. So first of all, I have to say, welcome to my drum room. Yes, this is some of my gear. I do play all of this, and I have way more drums in other rooms and a whole setup at my church. I'm self-taught. I'm a late bloomer, so anybody out there thinking I couldn't possibly do this, I play by ear. So I auditioned for a church band at age 47 with no experience, no lessons, and no drums at home. They just passed out a bulletin, and one of the little boxes said, "Would you like to audition for the band?" And I checked yes. And my husband and our son, who was the first drummer in the family, said, "You did what now?" I said, "I signed up to audition." And they said, "But you don't know how to drum." And I told them, "Well, they don't know that." So let's see what happens. What's the worst they can say? Don't call us, we'll call you, right? I figured that, in drumming as in life, if you don't give it a shot, you'll never know. I wanted to know, would the beats and rhythms that have always been in my head and in my body my entire life, since I was a little girl, can they come out of my hands at the right times so I don't make a complete fool of myself? Can I keep a beat if I'm playing with a band? The answer to that, as they found out, it was yes, I passed the audition. They just figured, well, your son's a drummer, your dad was a jazz musician, it must be in the DNA. They said foolishly. So I thought maybe the worship pastor either was very nice or they were very desperate. I don't know which. But I did hold my own okay. I knew enough to follow the drummer. So by percussion, what I mean are bongos and congas. Those green ones in the corner there, those are conga drums. Bongos on a stand, two drums together. A lot of people see all of my drums and they call every single one of them a bongo. Here comes Dori with her bongos. Like, I'm not bringing any bongos. That's two together. Those are Latin. Forget it. It's like I give up. So just think Sheila E. without the stilettos. That was me, just standing there playing. Now keep in mind, this is not Kumbaya. We weren't playing hymns. This was a rock band. We played Van Halen, Peter Gabriel, Cyndi Lauper, Judas Priest, even in church, because they figured if the song fit the pastor's message and it was clean, we played it. We played AC/DC, you name it. And of course, they did play contemporary Christian music in the set list as well. All of the band members, as I discovered, were professionals. And some of them were playing in a band together. And then there was me, the rookie. But they extended lots of grace. I did eventually get better. But here's the thing. In the very beginning, I'm standing up, I'm playing, I don't have any bongos in the rooms, but I was playing bongos and congas, keeping the beat, doing the whole rock flavor kind of thing. And I realized, oh, this feels really good. It's both energizing and relaxing at the same time. And then I went home and I Googled, is there such thing as drum therapy? I wanted to know, is this a field? Is anybody using this for wellness? Turns out there is such a thing. And so I signed on with an organization called Drums and Disabilities. That's where I'm certified through. It's the only organization I know that offers a certification in drumming. There are no degrees in drum therapy. I looked. So what it turns out, this guy, like me, is an Italian from New Jersey, and he likes to rock. He is a rock musician. So his whole program was designed with that in mind. So when people want to sign up, I said, wait up now. this might not be the program for you because you really have to know how to drum to do this. You have to be a drummer. There's also another organization that I trained with called Health Rhythms. I got specialized training for at-risk youth, not knowing that I was actually going to use that much later. I thought, what the heck? But in the course of doing that, I was working with tutoring students. That was my first business, Next Stage Educational Services, tutoring and consulting. I was getting a lot of kids who had ADHD issues, but they were very bright and they were very creative. They became part of my case studies in my 20-year research project called the Gifted ADHD Connection. Would have been a slamming PhD certification or thesis and all that, but I didn't go there for multiple reasons. But anyway, I had all this trial and error kind of thing. And one of the first kids I worked with, he was actually coming for SAT math prep that day, but he was blowing his math problems. And I was like, dude, what's going on with you today? You were doing fine last week. Today you're not. He said, Miss Dori, I am so stressed out. I just can't focus. I said, now think about it. Junior, senior year, they're stressed out to the max because they're worrying about their SAT scores. Will they get into the college of their choice? College applications, homework, parents bugging them. And so I said, can you give me 5 or 10 minutes to do something fun? What kid's going to say, no, I'd rather work on these math problems, right? I said, let's just take a break. And this has actually become my mantra. Take a break, take a breath, and tap out some beats. So he and I sat in my living room and I gave him one of these. This is called a djembe drum, spelled D-J-E-M-B-E. You don't pronounce the D. Christian friends, don't freak out, okay? This is not from Africa. I don't do African or shamanic drumming. No voodoo is involved, and I don't do anything new age, okay? We got that taken care of. I get those complaints and issues a lot. So he and I sat across from one another, and we just did a couple of really basic beats that I'm going to teach you guys in a little bit, and just 5 or 10 minutes of drumming. Now, we weren't rocking out. We were doing very calming beats, and I gave him some exercises that I used to do with my younger tutoring students to help them focus better, not using drums. We were exercising because I know there's such a thing as brain integration. If you can sync up the left and right hemispheres of your brain, you will focus better. What I discovered was that with a lot of the kids who couldn't focus, they were right brain dominant because I tested all of my tutoring students beforehand. That means they were having a party in their head all day long because your right brain types, creative, random, no concept of time. And the left side of the brain where language and math reside was kind of taking a break. So I said, we need to wake up the left side of your brain. I'm going to do some hand motions that I generally don't do when I'm drumming, but I'll explain the science behind it later. Okay, fine. So he and I were drumming for 5 or 10 minutes. And then I said, let's go back, try those math problems again. He went over and did the exact same math problems again. He got a 40% accuracy rate before the drumming. After only 5 or 10 minutes of drumming, he had a 100% accuracy rate. And his mind was blown. He went, Dori, how did that happen? So I said in my very bad British accent, you've been recalibrated, my friend. Brilliant. And I just said, we just sync things up so you can focus better. And then I taught him some of the exercises that we'll do today to help him drum anywhere, anytime that he feels stressed out, to help him get in the zone. Now, special needs parents, I do work with an awful lot of kids on the autism spectrum, and I've had really good results with them as well. And they will get a slightly different program. I create customized, easy beats and rhythms and exercises that anybody can do. Nobody, except for maybe 1 or 2 people that I've worked with privately, had ever drummed before. So you don't need any experience. If you can count, you can drum, right? So even kids on the spectrum have demonstrated significant improvements. Stressed out entrepreneurs, I do corporate wellness, I do virtual train the trainer programs for different organizations. The last one was a ministry that works with victims of human trafficking. She got a very specialized program with lots of extra elements added in. I always ask people in our initial call, what's going on with you? How can I help? And they explain the situation. And I always say, I got a beat for that. And I just joke, I actually have a lot of beats for that. I will create something that will help you reduce stress, reduce anxiety, get rid of the static in the attic, as I call it, those anxious thoughts. It will help you get in the zone. You will boost your mindset. Many of my private clients have reported that they're sleeping better for the first time ever. I've had clients with PTSD issues, dramatically reduced. One woman says she's not having nightmares anymore. I mean, all because we were whacking on a drum. Who knew? But it's not just the drumming beats themselves. It's what type of drum you use, where you hit it, how you hit it, and what Dori says when she's working with you. Because people have told me, even the corporate wellness clients have put in the chat box, Dori, it's not necessarily just even the drumming, it's your voice. It's very calming and it's very soothing, and you're making us feel like we can go out there and do anything. I said, yes, I don't call myself the chief encouragement officer for nothing. So mission accomplished. So I'm going to change the sound settings here so you can hear my drum. Now you can do these exercises on your legs, your desk, or a book, or anything you have handy. If you are interested in one of these, I can tell you how to get one. I do offer them for sale at a really good rate. And my private clients, I can ship anywhere in the US. They get one with their program. So anyway, what we're going to do first is just roll your shoulders, stretch out your hands a bit, take some deep breaths. All right. I'm going to start with a beat. It's 2 beats. It's called the heartbeat. Just about every drummer out there who does therapeutic drumming, including your drum circle facilitators, they all start with the heartbeat. So this is not original. Just 2 beats, like like a heartbeat. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So I'm going to start hitting the middle of my drum, which is called the bass, really deep tone. You ready? 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, here we go. Deep breaths. Get in the zone. Relax, reset, release, restore. You could even get fancy. Switch hands. And 3, and 2, and ready, and switch. 1, 2, 1, 2. There you go. And now we're going to do 2 beats on either side using both hands, kind of like a helicopter effect. It works the waistline if you twist. Are you ready? And 1, and 2, and ready, and switch. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Deep breaths. Everything's going to be okay. No matter what you're going through, you can rise up. I did it, and you can too. And 3, and 2, and ready, and stop. And there you go. You can do that one anywhere, anytime. And in case you're wondering, drumming does burn calories, 270 calories per half an hour of drumming. It's been documented by different studies, and I've also personally clocked it with somebody who attended one of my group events. She was wearing a Fitbit. She locked it in right before we started. I said, how are we doing? She said, 270. I went, yes. So you will burn more calories, obviously, if you're flailing away on the drum set or you're playing for a long period of time. But even just easy, relaxed beats, it's a full body and brain workout. Really quick before we go to the next exercise, my accident story is what changed everything for me, and I realized I needed to do drumming more for not just entertainment, but to help people heal and rise up. Got run over by a speeding bicyclist in a crowd of 200 people. Never hit the ground, but I did manage to have whiplash, a concussion, tears in my shoulder, knee, ankle, and back pain and all that. And what happened was the accident triggered a rare neurological degenerative condition known as Tarlov cyst disease. Lots of inflammation and pain for 3 long years. There is no cure, but guess what? I asked God, give me a way to heal myself and heal others, and what I heard clear as day is, Dori, I already did use the drums. So I literally drummed for my life with this drum and a different type of hand drum with a mallet, and in 2 weeks I was completely healed. I cannot guarantee miraculous results, but I can guarantee that you will feel less stress and more joy. Those two are a given. All right, so the heartbeat by itself was a little boring for me. So as a musician, I said, I got to add one more extra beat. So I call this heartbeat plus one. It's two beats and then an extra boom. Sounds really great and jazzy on a drum. So we're going to do that. One, two, ready, here we go. One, two, three, and boom, boom, click. There you go. Three beats on whatever you have handy. I'm not seeing hands moving. I don't know, guys. Come on. Now, if you've noticed, what does this sound like? We will rock you. Right? Anything with three beats. Deep breaths with that as well. Now you're getting your both sides of your brain fired together because you're doing two things that are different. A little challenging, huh? Hey, I'm doing this and I'm talking at the same time, so extra bonus points for me. All right, so you can say affirmations if you like, Bible verses, whatever works for you while you're drumming. To psych yourself up, especially before a networking event. You can say things like, I'm going to be fine. I'm going to rock this. Whether it's a talk or your 30-second commercial, right? I can do this. I don't need to be afraid or worried about what other people think. Because I'm going to rise up and rock what I've got. 3, 2, last one, and stop. Believe it or not, even though I am very outgoing, I absolutely hate networking events. I panic every time on the way over because of that blasted 30-second commercial. What am I going to say that they're going to get, right? And so I'll even rehearse a little bit because a 30-second commercial is 3 sentences basically, maybe 4 if you keep your sentences short, right? You go in, you get out, nobody gets hurt, right? So I usually go in with some sort of funny intro. Dori Staehle, mentor or musician on a mission, whatever, mentor, motivator, musician on a mission, and I help fill in the blank, do this, and 93% of my private clients have experienced a breakthrough in 8 sessions or less. You're never too old, it's never too late to rock what you got. There we go. They think it's funny, but I don't always get people coming over to me. It's like, what am I, invisible? So sometimes you have to mix it up. And if you're super nervous, this one works really well. This exercise is the one I used to do with my students with test anxiety and my job seekers who were just worried they were going to blow the interview. This works really well on your lap. You're just going to do like the 60-minute thing, you know, it's like a stopwatch. Tick, 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 tick. That's the beat. Like that, right? Kind of sounds like raindrops if you do it really quietly. So this one is called, I call it the stopwatch, because it sounds the same. So you're going to take a breath. You're going to say some affirmations, and you're going to tap on your legs like this. And you're going to say to yourself before those networking events or even, you know, the Zoom calls, I have no reason to worry. Right? I've got everything I need to succeed. I don't care about what anybody thinks. I'm going to preach a little bit here, so if you're not a person of faith, bear with me. I usually say, I'm a daughter of the Most High King. I'm anointed and appointed for such a time as this. Right? And then you adjust your crown. And you walk into that room and you own it. Right? And you can even speed up your beat a little bit. 3 and 2 and that's what I'm talking about. And it really, you know, you're going to sit with that for a minute. Whatever affirmations work for you, you don't have to do Bible verses. I work with people of all different faiths. I don't hit anybody over the head with the Bible. I just share my story because it does involve, you know, God and healing, and it's part of the deal. It's my story. I'm sticking with it. They don't have to believe it. But I do know that this is very effective. It's very easy to do. It's backed by science, and it's loads of fun.